So 5 years ago, I had a genius idea on the Chaos Theater forums to ask if people wanted to play Minecraft Hardcore together and record it. We did that, and then we never uploaded it to a channel except for Shadow, which we never finished. And then I thought, what if I just make this into a group channel and we just race video games instead? And that was the day that the Chaotic Crusaders was formed 5 years ago. Oh god, we're fucking old. Isn't that right, Shadow?
We are.
Oh my god. We've been through a lot. 5 years, juggling a lot of members, sometimes members leaving for whatever reasons or another, or in one of those cases, just not existing for God knows how long. But it's been a journey, to say the least, and I'm kind of shocked we're still here after all this time.
I'm not. I'm not.
Well, at least someone has confidence in this group. Anyway,
I've always had confidence in this group.
Anyway, I've got 5 people in this group in total that's in this discussion for our 5-year anniversary. It's me, of course, Sub-07, the guy that was crazy enough to come up with this idea. The guy that helped me support this crazy idea from the start is Shadow, and he's still here too.
Yeah.
And of course, we also have the man, the myth, the legend, the Yuri.
Hi.
We have Kiara.
Hey.
And we have ChaosKey, who only seems to show up in discussion videos and a singular race.
I need to be in more stuff.
Up.
At least he admits
He
it.
is in something. I just need to actually edit it.
That is true.
I mean, well, I have the footage. I just need to chop it up,
Yep.
and then put it on Drive.
Mm-hmm.
But
But this isn't the place to discuss that.
yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, 5 years ago, give or take, because when this is not recorded exactly on the 5-year anniversary, but when it goes up, it will be September 14th, 2019. On that day, we posted the first episode of Mega Man 2 4-Man Mayhem on the channel after I guess, unfinished Minecraft Hardcore that we tried. It wasn't that we failed it or we succeeded. It was just that we never bothered to finish it.
You mean I never bothered to finish it?
Okay, yes. Originally, Hardcore was you, me, Piku, Cyborg Lucario, Doom, Muffin, and Red Angel when she couldn't show up. So, over time, the group eventually died down to just you and me, and then I died exploring the Nether, and then it was just you, and we never finished because I think the server ran out.
Well, I don't remember.
But I think...
Well, actually, I do have the server. So the original intention was you gave me the server, and I was just supposed to finish it on my own time, and I never did.
Right. I don't have the stuff showing what happened next exactly. This was back when Skype was still relevant and Discord didn't exist, which is unfortunate because Discord kind of killed it. Skype nowadays kind of sucks because every 15 minutes, if you're recording a video using Skype, you have to mention you're recording Skype. It's required now. It's dumb.
What?
Wait, what?
That's a thing.
I didn't know about that.
At least I believe it was a thing. If it wasn't, I was lied to, but I heard that was a thing.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, after that, after the mess of Minecraft Hardcore and our gong show of running around in a thunderstorm, everyone dying every few minutes, we were looking for other stuff to do, and I suggested we race a game. And believe it or not, it wasn't Mega Man 2 that we raced first. It was actually Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland for the GBA, which...
Yeah.
I know Piku won that race because he'd played the game more than the others, which I think was me, I think it was Wave, and I think it was you too, Shadow.
Yeah. I still have my footage.
I still have it too!
I think the funniest part about that is that it's like you point out, it's like the first idea that we had for this channel was not actually Mega Man 2, even though that was the one that uploaded. You want to know another dude whose first Let's Play was Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, but that never got uploaded to YouTube?
Was it John?
So instead, they had something entirely different, which more people know him for.
Was it John?
It was Proton John.
Actually, that was Superstar they never uploaded. I remember that part.
It was a Kirby game.
Yeah.
Like, either way, but even still, It's like, I find that amusing.
Pretty much. But yeah, we did the race. I don't remember why we didn't upload it. I just think at the time we just weren't sure what to do with it.
I want to say somebody lost their footage or something.
It might have been Wave, I think, at the time that lost the footage. Who else? That was another person that I did mention. Wave showed up after the hardcore because I don't think he had Minecraft at that point in time, but he was willing to like edit stuff.
Yeah, he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
In the future.
Mm-hmm. So after that, I think it was Piku actually who suggested, "Hey, let's do another one because I got an idea. Let's play Mega Man 2, and the rest is history." Oh boy. This one I know was edited by Wave because a lot of the cuts and stuff you can like tell from his like early YouTube channel for us was definitely Wave editing stuff. I think it was around V that Yuri took over on that front.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because Mega Man 2, the Castle Crashers LP, which was another thing that we did where one-time player Slayer showed up, Shadow's brother.
Yeah.
And assisted me.
He also technically raced in Mega Man 2.
Oh, right, because he didn't record, but he was still playing in the background.
Because he wanted to be involved, but he didn't actually have the capabilities to record.
Right. So yeah, Mega Man 2.
I forgot about that.
I occasionally updated on where his progress was, but my audio didn't record.
And instead we turned you into a jet pilot.
Yeah, you forgot to like record your mic or something, so basically.
It was a mistake in Bandicam where it like didn't detect my microphone for some reason.
Yeah.
Or like the setting changed and I didn't notice it changed, so it was no longer recording my mic. That was what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think it was you, me, Piku, and Cyborg, I want to say, that did Mega Man 2. Wave edited the race. I remember Cyborg specifically because he took the longest to get to stage 2. I always remember Piku when he races because it's always entertaining to watch him fumble about with stuff, especially when he runs out of metal blades. That was an experience.
Yes.
And
How do you run out of metal blades?
I don't know.
I enjoy the fact that Wave just started
Spam
playing
too much because it's a
Mirror
good
Beast.
weapon.
Was it? I don't know if it was Cyborg in Mega Man 2.
It was. I remember this specifically. Oh, no. It was Wave. No, it was Cyborg in Kirby, Wave in Mega Man. Right, that's what it was. Okay, I was thinking of something else.
Because I'm actually on the wiki.
You're on the wiki, I'm on the YouTube page. We're going to cover all the pages of this shit, that's for sure.
We have a wiki.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we have a wiki now.
We have like 2 wikis, I think.
We have a wiki and a TV trope.
So I know we had a TV Tropes page, but it's like, we have a
Why do we have TV tropes?
Well, we've had that for a while, but we never updated, so it just kind of exists.
Me and Triforce mainly made that.
Yeah.
Because we
did
wanted to.
stuff like every now and again, but it was a case of just like, stuff needs to get done for us to do like more things.
Yeah.
And then, like that was done when like it got like the final few months of us on Skype like transitioning over to Discord.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
And then a lot of stuff. I think a lot of stuff just happened around that time, and we just didn't think about it anymore.
Yeah, and I think
I'm also very bad at thinking of tropes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, I may spend like an eternity on that site once it's snared me, but I am not like I cannot be as quick on the draw and like what these things are even titled.
Yeah,
I'm not very trope savvy myself.
Yeah, going back to what we were doing. Yeah, we started Mega Man 2 September 21st, 2014. We started the channel like a good 6 days before that. And I think a week after that, we started the Castle Crashers LP, which was, of course, me, Shadow again, this time with audio. Piku playing as the Grey Knight, which we thought was kind of weird because there's nothing interesting about the Grey Knight other than him dying a lot. And full frontal attack, but that's beside the point. And Slayer, the competent one who couldn't talk because he didn't have a mic.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of that Let's Play.
Well, that and the whale. The whale was the best part.
The whale was.
Whale. But yeah,
what that comes from.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is where
much.
the whale thing came from.
So that's been an in-joke this entire time. Every single time Shadow quotes that, he's just screaming whale.
Whale. It's actually.
Whale. I do also just like to say whale.
I mean, it's a good word.
Whale is a
But
funny
also, it's
word.
like, wow. Even on the channel that I'm a part of, I don't get in-jokes. Amazing.
To be fair, that was a long time.
The deep lore of the Chaotic Crusaders. Anyway, I think after part 2 onwards, Wave started getting fancy with it and just started like bullshitting a conversation between all the animal buddies we had. And that was probably the most entertaining thing that came out of that LP, aside from us being unable to finish it again. We're not good at finishing things, okay? We're sorry.
No, we're not.
We can finish it now because it's coming to the Switch.
Yes. We'll do it again with Blackjack and Orcus.
Because I'm looking at the YouTube page, after the Castle Crashers, we had the weekly Shenanigans Super Smash Bros. Wii U Part 1. There was more to that. We just never uploaded it.
I don't know what happened to that. That was you, Shadow, Piku, and
There was a
Fawn.
part in that where I sang Rules of Nature. And then my brother, and this was like during the day. So then my brother comes in and gets all mad because I'm so loud.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
There's a
the
lot of
worst.
stuff that just
I
happens.
mean, it was fun playing. It was just him coming in was just
Uploaded.
the worst.
Yeah. And like I know we've had like recordings and such that went nowhere, or recordings that didn't turn out, like SteamWorld Dig. We didn't remember that shit. But I won't say what exactly happened with that one.
Fun fact. there was gonna be
I will explain what happened with Steve.
Fun fact, there was going to be a Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire Nuzlocke, and I was in it. Problem that the reason why that wasn't uploaded is because my footage messed up.
Yeah, your
That
footage
directly-
straight corrupted after the first session.
The only thing that was left of that recording was the audio.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
I was
unfortunate.
Because I was actually playing on an actual Game Boy player, on an actual GameCube, with an actual cartridge of Pokemon Ruby.
Yeah, we've tried a few times to do a
Apparently
Pokemon
being
race.
authentic punished you.
We've tried doing a Pokemon race like multiple times, because later on we did do Emerald race, which went real far, but things that's a bit further down. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
Because after Castle Crashers like went on and fizzled out at around part 11, because I know we finished the recordings, but I don't think we ever put the rest of it up. And that was also the point where we weren't doing anything because we didn't have anything to do. Because I don't think anyone could find any time to do anything for a while. So it was just me randomly streaming Battletoads and Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and then us calling for help, which is what pulled Yuri into the mix.
And me.
And you. It was because I'd invited people at the time to do another race, this time a 6-man race of one of my favorite games at the time, which was VVVV, which I proceeded to absolutely dominate.
Of course you did.
I regret nothing, but that was also the first time we saw Nick, Jacob, and Yuri. Well, not Yuri. Yuri was editing, but Yuri was being trampled on Black Friday that day. That was a very interesting day, to say the least, because when we found him again, it's like, dude, what happened? Oh, I was in the hospital. What for? What? I was trampled. What?
So yeah, I wanted to get a PS4. I picked the wrong day to try and get it.
Mistakes were made. But yeah, after that, it was just teases of what was coming soon. Kiara took up editing for a bit and helped us with Mega Man 3 when we did that.
Actually, no, that wasn't me who edited Mega
Oh no,
Man
you did
3.
thumbnails for that.
Yep.
Yeah, you did the thumbnails. Was that Yuri that edited 3 as well?
When I joined, I basically, due to the fact that I had absolutely nothing better to do, just was basically the editor for a majority of everything that got uploaded.
Right. And Mega Man and Mega Man 3 was also the time when we learned two things. A, that Jacob is known to spontaneously combust mid-race.
Explode.
Yes.
And Kiara is too good at Mega Man 3 because she practiced a bit too much.
And also that we probably shouldn't,
Yeah.
have beforehand practicing.
Yeah, that was when we started like adding more rules to the race dog. And I've said before that I'm like recording a tab of this. What I also didn't mention is that I have a tab of the race doc open that I could just show right now real fast. I'm just gonna do this real fast. We had a lot of rules that we changed a bit over time, such as like no beforehand practicing, the obvious stuff like just be a good person, don't be an asshole to other people, guests are allowed if everyone is okay for it. Just basic stuff that we wanted to like make stuff more exciting. Though some of it we really need to update because it's been a while.
I remember back in the days of the Kiosk Theater, there was a lot of races that when we were like coming up with them, we went, "You think Rabbit Luigi would want to play a game with us?"
Right. We were just
way before he got as popular as he did.
before he became out of reach, essentially.
You know, so it was like,
He still wasn't on the Chaos Theater.
Well, he was actually. He was on a few times.
yeah, like there
I
was
think
a
he was on the Chaos Theater.
Around this period, like it was at the point where a bunch of the big like countdown artists and all
Right.
that sort of stuff.
Everyone started leaving, and after that point, the forum like died off, reformed as version 4, I want to say, and that was when like no one was around, and it eventually
I think
permanently
V4
died.
was actually a little before that, actually.
Maybe it might have been.
I think it was 2015.
It's hard
All I
to-
remember was that.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know.
I just popped on one day and then I had PM because like I had actually like talked to Kyle like on the like through the theater like a bunch of different times and such. Just
Yeah,
like,
because
shooting
Nick
shit.
had introduced the two of us, and
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Yeah, and like there was this one day I popped in, there was a PM and it was from him. It's like, hey, so I'm starting making this group channel. It's like, do you want to be part of it? It's like, sure.
And on that day, I retrieved Yuri from the abyss, and I never let him go back. But yeah.
I think it's funny that I originally had signed on to be an editor, and yet I've only started editing things like recently.
Like I said, our management of this is all over the place. I will be the first to admit that as the boss. of the
And
group.
We did choose chaotic for our name.
We're organized chaos. That doesn't mean we're organized. We're slightly less crazy than you'd expect.
And instead, I just sort of became the lead graphic designer, so to speak.
In a sense. But yeah, after Mega Man 3, I think that was another bit where we had like time gaps, but we actually started messing around with the whole weekly shenanigans idea. Cards Against Humanity, Brawlhalla, which you had an addiction to for a while.
Yeah.
We did have some like reaction stuff, like reacting to Nintendo Direct, Final Fantasy 15 active time reports, just discussing stuff about Metroid before it came back from the dead again, just a bunch of stuff again, and even a bit of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. I don't remember when we did that. Oh wait, no, that was when Yuri was sick. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that was when I was like pretty much like out of it.
Yeah.
That's like, if I remember correctly, I had a fever.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't want to be just alone, laying on my bed with like no anything going on. So I got into a call as you guys were like setting up a game, and I was just like, I guess I'll just sit here.
Essentially. And
Pretty much.
yeah, once we got that out of the way, we had another update, I believe. I don't remember what the update was about specifically, other than it just was an update teasing Project Yakuza, which is what I was calling Metroid Fusion Versus.
I think the update was about our failed Undertale race.
It might have been. Actually, that probably wasn't.
remember.
Actually, yeah, that probably. Yeah, because part 1 of Undertale did come before we did Fusion, because we tried to do Undertale and then something went wrong, so you had to do it again. That makes sense. Ow.
Yeah, it was the Undertale and Super Mario World race.
Right. Oh, right. The Mario
Because
World
they
race.
disappeared.
I forgot about the Mario World race actually, because we did that much later on. So after that, Piku and Wave started the Sonic 1 race that went nowhere. We have one part of it up, and the rest has never been posted. And that was also the point where we started trying to do solo Let's Plays for the channel. Shadow started BioShock!
BioShock!
Kiara started doing Mega Man and Bass, which I'm still questioning your sanity on. And I
don't know why I did that.
And I was doing Super Meat Boy. And there was also...
Because we're crazy.
It was also the point where Yuri and Wave did the Contra race, parts fail and the full race.
Yeah, no, this was also part. You know, this was also around the time that we just started to actually save like some failed like recordings and such, in case there could be something that would be salvaged from them. And in 3 instances, there was.
Surprisingly. And I think, when Meat Boy started, there was also the point where I was doing my crazy shit of, hey, let's mess around with Grand Theft Auto 5 with Shadow. And that was one of the and that's still currently going on because we still play the game every so often.
If only we had more people.
I enjoy the fact that like episode 1 has the most people that have probably ever been in a weekly shenanigans at 8.
Oh god.
I mean, there's only like 2 of us actually playing.
But yeah, but there's still just like
because I don't think that was
Piku, Jacob, and ChaosKey talking about Fire Emblem.
Yeah. I think this was
I'm just talking about what's going on. Fawn's occasionally like bringing up other types of bits and such, and like Kiara's just there because I think were you 2 dating at the time?
I think we were.
I think you were at the time.
Dating around April.
Right,
Yeah,
and
so,
I'm
like,
gonna look
they
at
were
this.
they were off being cute. There was Fire Emblem also happening in a corner, and then around all of this, Kyle and Shadow are playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, we're just blowing shit up while they're talking. And this was April of 2016 that we started doing this. And not long after, that was when the actual parts of the Undertale race started going up. And now the race is trying to play, except I won't let it right now. April 17th, 2016 was when Undertale started properly uploading. And also when the Emerald race started out. Which is the longest race we've had, but also another race that did not finish, unfortunately.
How long is it?
20 or so parts?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. 26 parts.
Our Gold and Soul
26
Silver's gonna
parts.
beat that.
Yeah, when it's probably all up.
We are already at that point, and we're just we've only passed the Elite Four.
Oh my god.
So by the time we're done, it's gonna be over 30.
So it's going to be real big.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
So the big upsetting thing.
As a note, most of the episodes are 40 minutes long, as opposed to the Emerald race, which is 20 minutes long.
Oh god.
I average between 20 to 25, sometimes going a bit over.
So
That'll be a good enough absorbable increment for something like an RPG.
so yeah, just as a note, even with what's uploaded now of Heart Gold Soul Silver, it's already almost longer than Emerald, if not already longer.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Just felt like I should point that out.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I forgot as Emerald started going underway and as Undertale wrapped up. That was when I made the teaser for Project Yakuza, and we raced Love by Fred Wood.
Yeah.
The
What
best
is
game of just a minimalist 2D platformer with the best end joke we've had so far. What is love?
What is love?
I want to consistently, even from from that point on, I'm keeping up with that. Every single time there is a 2-man race, that it would be summed up in one part, that I just have some dumb gag that relates to the game. So
Yeah, this was my favorite joke that we had for the longest time because it came just enough out of nowhere that I couldn't stop laughing at it the first time I saw it. And you didn't tell me about it until after I saw it.
of course I did. Why would I?
Exactly.
Why would you spoil that?
Exactly. But yeah.
I didn't tell anybody about the joke that happens in Castlevania.
All right, that one. I almost forgot about that.
I just I have spurts of insanity that make me go, you guys are gonna kind of want to watch this race. Is that why? Just watch it.
Just watch all the way through. But yeah.
Oh, and then shortly after that, we get our first loser challenge.
Oh boy, right.
Which was
The first and only time we've gone through with this, making Jacob play Vinny Vinny Vinny.
no. We
Well,
did
we
this.
also had
We actually did this 2 more times after this point.
Right, and then we
The
stopped.
Sonic Adventure.
Cyber did Yellow Devil.
And Sonic Adventure.
Cyborg had to fight the Yellow Devil. Mark II.
I made him do it with the Buster only.
Yeah, the
Like a
Mega
jerk.
Buster only.
I feel like that's still a little bit more generous than making you play through an entire story mode with your controller upside down.
Why did we do that? That was so mean.
But yeah, no. So the big thing with this general concept is it safe to say that we basically stole this from Versus?
Yeah, we totally stole this from Versus. That was the original
Yeah.
idea. I stole this from 2 groups in particular. I stole this from Versus, and I took the idea from Smite after seeing his Battletoads and Meat Boy races. Because I thought, that's funny. I want to do that. So that was where I got the idea from. The Loser Challenge and Lifelines and stuff came from Versus. But I saw Versus way before I saw Smite stuff, because I found that much later.
Okay.
But yeah, I think... And after the Loser Challenge, I finished up my Meat Boy LP. I think Mega Man and Base and Bioshock went into hibernation. And
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
more updates, member auditions again, which I think brought in Triforce, Arrow, and who else was it that we brought in?
Also Soul, but he left afterwards.
Soul, and
Yeah.
there were others that we've had that we did not bring up, like guys that showed up but didn't exactly exist for anything, like I guess Phantom N
Right,
Yeah.
right. He
So-
was in the wave with, I think.
He was with. I think he was in the same wave with Arrow and Triforce.
Yeah, he might have been.
There was also.
Yeah.
I think we also had like Raven and Ace at some point, but they didn't actually stick
Yeah.
around. They just kind of showed up, said a few words, left. Because that was when we were in another run of doing nothing.
Raven showed up at a really bad time because that was when we weren't doing anything.
Yeah, we've had members show up during like droughts where just no one's around to record or do anything because everyone was busy at the time. Because I think around that point, everyone was either in high school or starting college, and we were still getting used to stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
many of
there's
us
a bunch
just,
of other people that were also like out of high school and then getting jobs.
yeah, we just couldn't find the time for it for the longest time. We did find time for Kirby's Adventure apparently, which I don't remember much of this race actually.
That was Triforce and Wave, if memory serves.
I think it was, but yeah, Kirby's Adventure started up. We started doing 100% orange juice because you people are madmen.
Hoi, 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 hoi.
No, Arrow's the only madman.
Yeah,
He
and,
just dragged the rest of you into Mad World.
and he's not
So
here for me to yell at.
Kirby's Adventure was, in fact, Matthew and Wave.
Yeah.
I
And,
think that was the last race that Wave was a part of.
I think it was actually because around that point as
Sounds
well,
right.
Metroid Fusion started up. We did lose a challenge for Mega Man 3, and then we did something completely different with Meanwhile the Chaotic Crusaders. Still the only like sketch video that we've done that was actually just a lot of fun and just
Oh, I
us
love
all
that.
messing around.
That's actually a very, very viewed video of ours.
Can I bring this up? We were going to do a sequel to this.
Yes, we still have like the doc for it, but we just haven't
Yeah,
had the time.
Well, because my parts, I mean, if we had released it around
we
the
need to-
time, because what I joke about in my part would have been relevant at the time if we released it at the time, but now it's on videos that aren't really relevant anymore.
Yeah, so we gotta find something.
Yeah.
We gotta find
We
new
need to
jokes.
update all
There are a lot
of
of
the
things about that
old
old like,
ones.
We
script
need new
idea that's just
material.
like-
I kind of
I
wish.
believe we even looked
I
at
kind
it
of
one
wished
call
we
and
had
then
done.
went, oh, half of these
Released
jokes
it
don't
back
work
then.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and we published Meanwhile July 25th, 3 years ago, which is also just nuts to think about because this is one of our. Oops, that's Emerald trying to load. Never mind. Sorry, Emerald, wrong thing. But yeah, more Grand Theft Auto, more Emerald, more Metroid Fusion. This was just around the time when we actually had
Grand Theft Auto featuring Proteus.
right, who is not around right now. He's off doing his time in the military right now, actually.
Oh, he's
yeah.
in the military?
Yeah, he signed up for it. I don't
Wait,
remember
who?
when specifically, but I've talked with him recently. He said he's deployed in Cali right now.
Wait, who is this?
Proteus, who was my friend IRL, who we
Oh.
helped with GTA and stuff.
And was in VVVVV.
No, he was not in V.
Wasn't he?
No, V was you, me.
No. Right. It was the other guy.
Doom's
The
friend.
other,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Inglorious.
Yes.
Inglorious, who showed up again in another race later down the line.
Has
Yep.
Stim been in anything?
Yeah, Doom was in V.
Oh,
Doom was in V, and Doom was
that's a very Doom game.
yeah. Doom shows up much later in another very Doom game. And me and him were gonna do Meat Boy race at some point, but we never got around to that. So we did. So yeah, more updates and stuff that we did. More GTA, discussing like Pokemon's 20th anniversary when we weren't sure about Generation 7, and then we had conflicting opinions about Gen 7. Streaming Star Fox 64 and inventing Senile Peppy.
I
Speaking
forgot
of
about that.
Star Fox 64, at the time of this video, Runaway Guys are doing Star Fox 64.
That is true. They did just
Yeah.
cut that today.
Also
And
interesting to point out, which is interesting to nobody else but me. I'm like doing things to my 2DS XL, so I can actually finally play Star Fox 64 in 3D.
great.
nice.
It'll be the first actual Star Fox game I've ever played because I started with Adventures, but that one apparently doesn't count.
So that counts. That
Counts.
counts.
It counts. It has
I mean,
Star
I've
Fox
never
in the
played
name.
Adventures, so I can't really say.
So yeah.
It is
After,
Star-
anyway, after we did Star Fox, that was when I had an idea, just going like, hey, we don't really do too much aside from races and Let's Plays. What if I came up with a new idea and Score Attack was born? Branch out to a series that is also largely abandoned.
Diversify your portfolio.
Essentially. Score Attack, which was my idea of, hey, what if we just do a bunch of high score challenges and challenge the audience to do that? And then we realized we don't have an audience, so that kind of sucks. But we did get Han out of it eventually, so that was,
Well, we do have an audience. We just don't have an active audience.
And our audience doesn't respond to anything. Isn't that right, audience?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, Score Attack,
It's,
like, the
it's
first...
okay, audience. We still love you.
The series
There's
is...
the fact that some of you are even still here.
Please don't leave. I need to pay the bills this month.
I really need to pay the bills.
But yeah, Score Attack
I
did
know.
start up August 3 years ago. I started it with Ikaruga, and we just kind of like took turns handing it off to each other. Triforce took it for Mega Man 1, Arrow did Castlevania, Kiara did Gyrus, and they just kept going back and forth. And of course,
we also have a intro that if you're just if you're just looking at the YouTube page, you can kind of see who's in it at that time.
yeah, the actual intro for the group, which I think was pretty cool. And
At that point, Slayer's still there.
yeah, back when Slayer was allowed to
so Soul.
exist.
Yeah. I was the one who made like
Yeah,
the
man.
general thumbnail like for this entire like series.
Yep.
Which it's very easy to work with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
My
okay.
favorite out of all of these is still Jacob's in episode
Yeah.
6.
Hey,
where he beat the
Recoded
final
was a
boss
whole 10
Recoded
seconds.
in like a second.
That was the best
Boss
one.
of Kingdom Hearts
It's-
Recoded. Okay.
It's a very him video.
It's something that only him would do, like setting himself on fire for the meanwhile.
Yes.
It's
Later on,
exactly
when
him.
when he did the like April Fool's video for a channel where he got the other ending for Far Cry 4.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
God. But yeah, between all of that brouhahas, there was a lot more live streams. There was some more Gitava, more
Gitava.
Pokemon Emerald, because it was still, living its life, doing
Yep.
its thing.
We finished off Metroid Fusion, and you did the highlights reel for Mega Man 2, actually.
Yeah, which that was a general idea that we were going to have, like doing highlights for all our previous races, like after enough time has passed. It just seemed, but at a certain point, it just like stopped. Like the idea for it just like went away.
Yeah,
I mean, me and Jacob have both said we are doing highlights of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
I think it's like at this point, it's just like a play by ear system where if we think that we want to do like highlights of something, we do it, but otherwise we don't have to.
I've actually downloaded an entire series. Well, I've downloaded an entire race that I'm going to do highlights of. You can probably guess which one,
Oh god.
but we're not at that one yet. We haven't started that one in terms of the timeline yet. So
Oh.
Okay, what am I hearing in the background?
I think that's
That's unfortunately like I share a room with a brother, so
yeah. It's his brother. His brother's probably watching something in the background.
yeah,
But anyway,
it's not too noticeable.
yeah. As Yakuza, I think wraps up around 10 parts. Yeah, it was a 10-part race because Metroid's slightly longer, and it was also around the time that Nintendo Switch was first shown off for the first time, which we were all watching, keeping an eye on at least. My failed attempts at trying to run a tournament tried to happen, which might come back, might not, depending on my luck. Don't hold me to that, but also hold me to it, please.
And
And
then another thing that Kyle started, which I very much enjoyed being a part of almost every session that occurred, the Pokemon Crystal randomizer.
that was very much an experience because I'd never done a randomizer Nuzlocke before, let alone just like a regular Nuzlocke like that for Gen 2, and that was a lot of fun to do. And those
The winner was Rocky.
and the winner is Rocky!
Rocky!
And Sonic Generations was also a race that me and Triforce were doing where I think he just plastered our faces onto Sonic and Sonic.
Yeah, classic Sonic. Come on, son.
Good job, Triforce, you did it. But yeah, that ran for a while where I just kind of dominated that one for a bit. We actually did start uploading a little bit of tournament art, but we ran into a lot of like scheduling and tournament problems with that, so that didn't work out either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got more Score Attack.
More
and
Score
the Enemy Bro.
Which we've only done one episode of.
It was a series that was supposed to just like, it was a bunch of people that would play like Man vs. Machine, and then one episode happened, and that was it.
I think like right now the only people here that like actively play TF2 still are probably MGM and Fawn. I don't know if anyone else does. I don't personally.
My computer just wouldn't run it.
I
never
prefer
played
Overwatch
TF2.
personally.
So like if it was ever up to me to like play anything on PC, I would need a better computer because I can actually record and play like graphically intensive games like Team Fortress or even Left 4 Dead, which was another thing we wanted to do.
Yeah, we have tried to do Left 4 Dead a
Never
few
went
times.
anywhere.
We have a lot of unfinished projects.
Like I said, we
There's
are
a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
essentially. We also did Golf with Your Friends Weekly Shenanigans, which is not a very difficult game to run because it's literally just fucking golf. It can't be that
Yeah,
hard.
but I just find golf boring, so the running gag was consistently that I just am just the golf
Yeah,
commentator.
you were a golf commentator with golf claps.
But it should be hard because it's golf with a physics engine.
Fair?
Golf with a physics
still-
engine and a lot of ire and hate going around because you can
I'm
hit each
still
other.
like sort of bummed out because like the one instance where like we didn't actually have like multiple people recording their footage. If I remember correctly, Piku like got
Right.
like to a point where he went off
Yes.
like the track and
This-
ended up inside.
I know
the
what you're
temple.
talking
It's
about.
like, how did you do that?
This was the Oasis.
Oh no!
This was the Oasis map where this happened. I was watching him because I was in the hole already. He somehow, I don't know what happened. He bounced off, I think it was the Sphinx, and flew all the way to a different hole. It didn't warp him back. He ran into the other hole and it counted for him. It was great.
I think specifically the hole that we were on went like over the hole that he ended up on.
It might have been.
So like he like fell onto it or something, or like I think it wasn't like directly over, but it was like if you shot way off to the left, you could get to it.
In memory serves, like Shadow, you were the one who was recording the footage for that point. So like from like the viewer's perspective, the only thing that happened is that you sunk your like ball, and then you went to like the spectator cam, and then you just see Piku in the temple before he's actually supposed to be there.
And you were just wondering, wait, why are you there? Oh,
It was
God.
an interesting time.
And speaking of interesting, this was also the point where MGM popped onto the race train and started Streets of Rage racing with Triforce and Yuri, and they've been doing the other games because they did the second one, and I think you have done the third one, right?
The third one has been recorded. It'll be uploaded very soon.
Awesome.
Hooray!
Yeah, look forward to that when that comes out. That was also the time when Arrow took the wheel for Let's Plays and took over for Mario 64 for here. And I think after that it was just we discussed 2016 and how the year kind of sucked, but let's ignore that. More Crystal Randomizer, more Streets of Rage, Score Attack continued, weekly shenanigans. We actually had just a lot of stuff coming out for a while, which was nice. Heck, I actually can't see any new stuff for a while. That's interesting.
I think the big thing that amused me about this period of time was that one, we did like the whole like reaction to the Nintendo presentation of just like, oh man, Switch is coming, guys. Breath of the Wild, day one buy.
Get hype.
S&T. We haven't heard anything about it, but it's still gonna be good.
It's been 2 years. And we,
Two got announced and came out in the same goddamn year.
it's been 2 years and we still haven't fucking seen anything about SMT5.
Here's the thing, though. That's just Atlas, and like I understand that like since now a lot of people like have their eye on Atlas, that's like irritating to deal with. S&T games take a while.
Yeah.
They take about 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
depending on
Mhm.
mainline S&T games. That is why a majority of the time when you go, man, it didn't even feel that long between Persona 4 Golden and goddamn P5 finally coming out. It's because they just re-released a bunch of their old stuff. It's like that's what they do. They're doing that now. Catherine comes out like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Hey, I thought it was already out.
Right, yeah, sorry. Time, space, continuum.
Didn't make it in
No,
time.
I
Rewind the
mean,
space
like,
time.
as of today, August 31st.
Yeah, the other thing I was very much amused by was that we also reacted to the Fire Emblem discussion, or like the direct.
Which is our most watched video.
Fun.
It's one of our most watched videos, but also the case of like a lot of the air around that like reaction was, how is Fire Emblem of all things getting a direct? I thought the series almost died.
And then it exploded, and the rest was infamous.
The best part was that when we watched it, Yuri Lowenthal was the narrator. The significance of this is we bring him up a lot in our old talks.
Yeah, it just shows up a lot for some reason. But yeah, after the
voice actor.
After the Fire Emblem Direct specifically, that was when Streets of Rage 1 finished up, and Sonic Adventure started, which was the last race to ever have achievements in it.
Yep.
Because something
it was also the last thing I think Piku was in, right?
It was that Sonic Adventure was me, Triforce, Shadow, and Piku, and Shadow proceeded to absolutely own the game because he's played it too many times. You fucking weirdo. It was the last race we had achievements in. We've had achievements since Mega Man 2, which was like me stealing another idea from the Battletoads race that Proton John did, where they just like made like a little milestones of people doing dumb shit, which I thought was funny personally, but it was too annoying over time, so we just dropped it eventually.
Yeah, so the main thing that goes into like let's actually like back up a bit and point out that originally, and here's the like another thing about it that was like sort of weird and also kind of like added a lot to this. Shadow was originally the person that was going to end at this race.
Yeah.
And as the process started, both Kyle and Shadow started planning out achievements as like things were like going on. That's like honestly, that's the only time that's ever happened. Achievements were always just spontaneously like.
Yeah, we usually just made them up on the
That's an
spot.
interesting moment. Like, I'll put that there, and like, I'll just keep track if it happens to somebody else.
Yeah.
And like that was basically where I was literally just going by the seat of my pants at like whatever like constituted as an achievement.
And that was kind of part of the reason of what made them funny in the first place, is that you just wouldn't expect them, because we didn't have like set guides for them. They just show up when you least expect them. Like when I make a terrible Nazi joke in the V race, which was so bad. Instead of the achievement sound, it was a fart noise.
It's just no.
Boo! That was terrible.
I love little bits like that. But yeah, I think it was around. Was it part 7?
It was part 5, I think, was the last one.
Yeah, I think part 5 was the last point that we did it.
In fact,
you can tell me because I made an intro.
Yeah, part 5. It just
5.
says it just stops the video and goes, "Hey there." So I just want to point out something before the episode starts. As you probably saw in the update video, the achievements are pretty much done with. Episode 4 is the last video that achievements will show up in. So from this point on, you will most likely never see achievements in our content again.
And then it's just a pause.
Good riddance. Oh god.
Yep.
So yeah, like it was just like very taxing. Honestly, it was just like it was just a point where like I never felt like I was actually getting progress done, because like I would be watching ahead, and then I go, wait, no, I gotta check like the time code. It's like, oh, there.
I think part of the problem with that, with like having the list, was that when I was editing it, I was not like as clever with coming up with achievements. So I started working with Sub to come up with achievements.
Yeah, because I could just bullshit achievements on my ass.
That's how we got the big list going. Because like even when I had ideas for achievements, I wasn't like confident about if they were actually entertaining. So then I started adding to the list to be like, hey, is this a good achievement and stuff like that. And then once it passed over to Yuri, it was a completely different style than what you were used to.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a lot, honestly. And at that point I was like, okay, either I drop all of this or this race isn't getting done by the end of the year.
Yeah. And thankfully you did drop it. The race did finish by the end of the year, if I recall. We did more Crystal Randomizer, we did more GTA, more blowing up Yuri or Shadow, because we had to keep talking Nobody Explodes. And I think this was around the time that Jacob tried to do a Fire Red Nuzlocke and failed spectacularly.
That went for like 3 parts and then stopped.
And then it never came back.
It was
Oops.
And yeah, we did more Crystal Randomizer, loser challenge of making Triforce play with an upside down controller because we're evil. More
I
orange.
think the most interesting part about that was that like, was it that he wasn't even supposed to play through everything. He was only supposed to play through like up to a certain point, but he just didn't get the memo.
Yeah, he didn't get.
He was supposed to complete Sonic Story.
I thought.
You sure?
I thought originally the rule was we were supposed to do Speed Highway upside down. Wasn't it?
No, it was for my challenge was always complete Sonic Story. I think you guys might have tried to like.
Right,
ease it
we
up.
suggested just Speed Highway. You suggested the full story, and I think he went with that.
Right. Okay.
Because I was the winner, and I was like, he's gonna do it upside down.
I distinctly remember like the day where like that got posted in the Skype group, and then we just go 2 hours.
What were you doing?
And then like Kyle goes like, "You were only just supposed to do Speed Highway." It's like, fuck.
Right, that's exactly what he responded with too. It was just fuck. I forgot about that.
But no, that was, it was supposed to be the entire story.
But yeah, we did after that Gong show. Emerald continued, Mario 64 continued, IT's Mega Man 4 showing up, which we had finished at the time, and let's see.
The Portal 2 co-op happened.
Yeah, that happened. More Orange Juice. Now with Han, that was around the time that Han showed up because he'd been commenting on score tags for a while, and I said, like, group auditions and stuff were open, and he was just like, "Ooh, me!" And he was the only person that responded, so he got the job.
Oh, me. Pick me. Pick me.
Anyone else? What about you in the back? Oh, wait, no, that's a corpse.
You're hired.
But yeah, Mega Man 4 started up. That was interesting, because that was our first 5-man race, so that was an interesting design. That I actually made the piece that we used for the races. Like this little image that of the background for Mega Man 5, I came up with in Paint in like half an hour, give or take. I don't know. I like what I did with it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, the first instance of Duck Game.
Quack.
Yes, Quack.
Right.
Us reacting to ARMS in the direct from May. Oh my god, that was May that we saw ARMS. Jeez. New Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke Part 4. Wait, what? So it did go.
So
back.
the fun thing about that you won't get is that that's a Danganronpa reference.
Oh right.
And like it's even more apparent if you actually watch that part because the music in the background is just Danganronpa music.
Right.
Yeah.
That was basically the point where Jacob like was ending off the show. It's like, yeah, I decided this wasn't a good idea. It was a good idea at the time, but not anymore.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything's on fire, and not in a good way.
But that's an average day for him.
Oh?
Doom!
Oh my god, the fabled Doom. He's
Who
here.
is this mysterious Doom Eater 54?
He's here. And he brought Doom. Did he remember
Hello.
wake up? Oh, there he is.
Huh?
Hello, Doom. You've
Hi.
joined us mid-recording, but welcome back to the madness.
Oh, what's the madness?
We're still discussing the 5-year anniversary stuff.
Oh.
Which is basically just turned into a reminisce.
It's essentially. I'm going through.
Reminiscing
I
all
was
the
going
kids.
through the entire channel, going through all the videos.
Yep. So, after Jacob's gong show of an entire LP, I tried to revive Score Attack briefly. Kind of worked. Not really. Maybe. Mega Man 4 continued for a while. More updates from us, which I think was Yuri disappeared and then came back and then disappeared and then came back again. And I think this time he was here to stay.
Retirement.
All right, temporary.
I remember the MGM put it that way. It's like retirement, eh?
Yeah.
Essentially.
We had more reactions.
Yeah, we finished
The
up.
last E3 reaction I appeared in.
Right. E3 2017 reactions. Finished up Mega Man 4 and 64.
64 around this time.
Yep, and then you guys did a reaction to Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions, and we started Mario World for the first time. Or second time, I guess.
Yeah.
As well as doing Sonic 1 again, which I forgot about, because that was also me and Triforce. We have a weird running joke of
Yeah, no,
me
it
and
was just the
Triforce.
weird thing of just like, I guess Kyle and Matt are just going to be the Sonic people now.
I guess. We did say we were considering doing Sonic 2 at some point, we just haven't gotten to that. But yeah, more Portal 2 from Arrow
So
and
when can we
Hanukkah.
expect the Sonic 06 race?
Never. Fuck that
I'll
game.
do it.
I don't even own
I'll
that
do it.
game. Also, Shadow No, bad.
I'll do it.
No.
Yeah, that
I'll
part
do
would be a Let's Play, and then
I
also
mean-
I would just go Do you have to complete it, or can you just do Sonic?
It's your funeral if you want to do it.
Because it's like
I'll do it.
if you're only doing Sonic and then just like skipping ahead to the final episode or whatever, okay. Because at least then you don't have to deal with Silver.
I guess.
Silver is not actually that bad from what I played.
He doesn't look fun. Is the problem?
He's not fun. Anyway. But yeah.
Off topic.
Alright, this was also when Death Road to Canada started happening, because we kept trying to go to Canada, and we kept
I was
dying.
demanding that, and it was a fun. But the big thing that ended up happening with that a lot of the time was the case of like, I asked everybody, hey, what do I do here? And then everybody's like, huh?
Dang it!
It's like some people are off doing their own thing while this is happening, and then it's like, oh, right, what are the options again?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Death Road did start up around this point, which we haven't done in a long time. Sonic 1 finished up fairly fast because it was a pretty small game. We took Mario World for a ride for a while, and War Crystal Randomizer, and then P5 showed up and started getting discussed.
Four-part discussion.
Also, somewhere behind all of that was a Portal 2 co-op.
Yeah, it was in there somewhere.
Yep.
It was pretty quiet, but it was in there.
I think my favorite part of that P5 discussion was the fact that like it had as many parts as we normally have for our end of the year discussions.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Oh right, and
we had a lot of opinions on Persona 5.
And then more importantly, we had a bootleg race.
This was something that I just decided, why not?
Because we were this was a point where we hadn't come up with anything to race in a while. We didn't have like a plan or anything. We were just trying to find something. I pitched Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge. That was a terrible idea. We scrapped that idea.
So we had the part fail, which consisted, which thumbnail I'm always like proud of, because it's goddamn Kyle in his mean face, Jacob using like Junpei from 999, just like looking befuddled, and then I just have a picture of Astolfo in the corner just looking very distraught.
Yes.
I don't see it. Which one is that?
It's right before Final Fantasy X Fantasy War Part 3.
And it's right after
when
Score
I
Attack Part
played Nitro plus
see it.
Blasters for Score Attack.
Yep. But yeah,
Indeed.
our first and only bootleg race, Final Fantasy X Fantasy War, which Yuri pitched after Mega Man fell through, and was actually not bad, it was just really fucking weird.
Yeah, it was just a case of like, this is the bootleg that actually has effort into it. Let us appreciate the fact that someone put effort into a bootleg that is a Final Fantasy beat 'em up.
And like the funny part about it is, like the first time he showed it to me was that race, so my first reaction of the fuck is this was literally my first reaction to it. It's like, where did you get this? Why? What is this? Why? Then we were just sort of like still stalling for stuff for a while. We did break 100 subscribers around this time, which is why we did Gunman Clive a bit later. But we had more discussions. We did Speedrunners, 3D Mario discussion, Portal 2 co-op continued.
Speedrunners is still one of the best fun I've had like in a weekly shenanigans. Just due to the fact like how chaotic that game is, and so much like weird stuff kept happening. We were all pretty much hysteric by the end of our session.
Like we need to do
more of that.
We need to do more
Because
Speedrunners.
we kept playing. Like we had stopped playing after
We could do it
and then
afterwards.
After a while, we just like kept going and like recorded again. At that point, it was like 1 a.m. Shadow was trying to get Steam to work.
And we
Dylan
were-
showed up. We all just started like swapping in, swapping out, like depending on who lost.
And we
like,
just
who-
couldn't stop laughing at everything that was
And
happening.
it's like stuff just kept happening. I mentioned Ham, and Kyle lost his shit. for
I
that.
was. Oh god. Can we talk about the ham joke for a bit?
I don't remember.
I have never laughed so hard in my life at anything Yuri has said, aside from this one offhanded comment he makes. That's an Invader Zim reference.
Which one is this?
This is Speedrunners. It was an Invader Zim joke that he made of, what was it, Dib trying to get away from some Girl Scout or something?
Yeah, there was a bunch of Girl Scouts selling cookies, and then it's just like, don't you want to support Moofy? And like, it's like, all right, fine, here. To which lady runs off, and then the woman goes,
Wait a minute, this isn't money. This is ham. You want me to pay for cookies with ham?
I was the ham in my pocket.
And for some reason, that was the second time that I'd heard him say it. I don't know what was in my water that day, but I was fucking dying for a good 10 minutes.
He was 2 sheets in the wind.
I was just out. And it was the hardest I've ever laughed at anything, and I don't know why. Because that wasn't the first time I'd heard the joke, so it wasn't supposed to be as funny.
No, it was funny because like, I bet if you even go back to that part, there's a point where I could go, it's like, that wasn't even the first time I've like quoted that. It's like, why am I laughing this hard at 2 feet?
Yeah.
It's like when we were having a discussion about Jacob talking about like a mighty weapon in like some sort of RPG, and I just said, "Oh, it's a penis," and you burst out laughing in the background.
Because it's a matter of fact that out of nowhere, it killed me. But I would provide by the power of necromancy.
We have fun here.
We have a lot.
Indeed.
But yeah, Speedrunners was a lot of just chaos for us. We did more Death Road, and then in celebration of 100 subscribers, we finally did another game that I had pitched, Gunman Clive, which was another 6-man race, which was, for the first time in a long time, a race with guest stars, because that was when Dave and Kyle of Triforce Versus popped in and helped us out.
Didn't, like, me and Shadow get stuck on that one mushroom for an eternity?
Yes. You could not figure out that mushroom.
Now,
Like, I
here's the
figured
fun
it out when I played through the game the first time, and then I just got stuck on it like half an hour. How long were you stuck on it, Shadow?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It was quite a bit. But here's the other fun part about this: that this is the second six-man siege that we've done. It is the second one where I was actually like not available at the start, because this was done on my birthday. So I went out like to a buffet and like ate food and such. And
Yeah.
I came back and like the race was like in mid-run. So I went, try and catch up. It's like, yeah, you can do that. I somehow almost like
You took third.
Yeah, I managed to catch up, and like I think I almost like beat one person that was like about to like be like the final boss, and I made it to the final boss at that point in time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, I didn't even know that was going to happen. I'm glad I kept going.
Because like I had mentioned to you, I think when you showed up, that Gunman Collab was a very short game, and you probably could catch up if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, so it's just like I booted it up and I just like win it, and that was like even the first time I even touched the game.
Yeah.
Because I did not like look into it beforehand, like because I didn't have time to. So that was just me playing the game for the first time, and I went by, oh, okay, all right, okay, I'm on the moon. What?
Yeah. It was a very like nonsensical thing for a while. Yeah, Gunman Clive was a fairly short race. I think this is when we started enforcing the first person to finish. We'll just like wrap up soon after that rule, because we realized it was taking too long for some people.
And which I was almost surprised that wasn't already a rule after the Metroid thing.
Yeah.
What happened in the Metroid thing again?
We just kept going.
Shadow had not played Fusion before, so he was running around not knowing what to do due to the fact that like Metroid Fusion's kind of linear, but it's still Metroidvania, so there's a lot of aspects of you having to like go to specific
How
points
long did it
that
take
the game
Shadow to finish compared to everyone else?
I don't think he didn't finish. It was
He
that
didn't.
the
Like,
race
there was,
ran for
like,
10
about, like,
parts.
I feel like there was like a part or like either like half a part that was just like Shadow like trying to figure out what to do, and then everybody else just went, okay, we should mercy kill.
It was a good like 10 parts for the race. Me and Kiara, I think, were neck and neck for most of it, but I pulled ahead towards the end. I think Triforce was also there playing, and he was floundering a bit as well, but he had like a clear like advantage distance-wise, so we just cut the race there. We're just like, okay, we're done.
Where? How far did I get? Let me see.
I think you beat it as well.
Sorry, I spaced out because I was looking up something.
No, I was
Are we still on Gunman Clive?
Yeah, we're still on
Yeah,
Clive.
Fusion. Well, we're technically on Clive, but we're talking
We
about
went off topic to discuss Fusion again.
Okay.
Right. I was only in Sector 4, by the way, so the second visit.
Oh, right. Well, that's fairly close to the end.
Yeah.
I think I still had another 3 parts to go before I would have finished.
Possibly.
But anyway, where are we now?
Gunman Clive, which was like just about a year ago,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was only a year ago?
give or take.
I remember being so surprised that I actually finished.
2 years, like in November.
Yeah.
2 years,
It felt like it was more like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's like it's not been like the full.
It hasn't marked as 2
The full
years yet.
second year hasn't encapsulated it yet.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, after Gunman Clive and just hanging with
I don't know.
Triforce.
I checked the comment on the first part for Gunman Clive, and Mr. Han saying, "I get the feeling Shadow won't want to see another mushroom again."
Accurate. But yeah, after we did that with Triforce versus, which, fun fact, I may or may not be in something they're doing sometime soon, so be on the lookout for that. After that, we recorded Overwatch, apparently. I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was.
We did some of that.
Was that me and Jacob and Shadow when you
Yes.
recorded?
Yes.
And I'm glad that this was before I became utterly addicted to Overwatch.
Right.
This is actually why I got distracted before, because I realized these 2 episodes are not actually the links of any of the 3 parts that I have on my files. So I think Jacob edited these 2 videos that came out.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought we had a
You
few more
definitely
and we
did
never
because
And I
there was
think-
and music as the intro.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably figure out what all is in these episodes if it's just the first one split into 2, and then I'll probably upload the other 2 because we have
2
like an hour
years
more.
later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, after Overwatch, which I still don't remember actually happening, more speedrunners, more Crystal Randomizer, because that was going for a good long while until the season 1 finale.
The season 1 finale happened.
And I still should probably do the second half. I haven't done the second half, but I just haven't had the time to do it or the desire to go back and do it again, because spoilers, things did not end perfectly in the finale. I won't say what exactly happened, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. More
At the
speedrunners.
same time, it was just like, oh, this is an old Pokemon game, so the game's actually trying.
Yeah. More speedrunners, more orange juice, and then, right, it was almost 2 years ago that Heart Gold and Soul Silver started.
Yep.
God dang.
It started.
Wow.
Oh no, it started
Yeah.
January 6th, 2018. So over a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh
God
God.
dang.
I'm gonna look up something, and you're gonna be disappointed.
What
No,
did
no,
you do
no.
this time?
You know, that's nothing compared to what we're going to get to at another point.
Oh no.
Wait, where are we going to get to?
There's another race that took about 2 to 3 years to actually come.
Right. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. We'll get to that very shortly.
Which one is it?
You'll find out in a
We'll
minute.
get to
Dude.
it.
I'm scared.
Oh God. Oh God. I completely forgot about that.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
I'm almost at the point where I can look at the thing that I want to look at.
We'll move a little bit along. 2017 discussion. Talked
Yep.
about a bunch of games and such. Again,
Was that the one where like I'm at the beginning, but then I had to leave because you guys did this like really late?
Right. That was what
And
happened.
I
It was
couldn't-
2017.
I
You couldn't.
stay in the call because my parents and my brother were.
Yeah, that
I
was
believe
exactly
the
what
case.
happened.
It was a case of like, man, we
I
thought
wish I had
that,
stayed through.
it's just like, we thought that that discussion wasn't going to last that long because there wasn't that many games to talk about.
We were wrong.
No, because the Switch
Okay.
came out and it like blew up 2017.
Like the
Yeah.
last part
it
is an hour.
owned 2017.
Yes.
Can I just? I'm just gonna quick go back to Heart Gold Soul Silver. The episode that came out today was recorded 2 years ago.
Oh God.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. After 2018 discussion or 2017 discussion, though, things were quiet like for a long time. Cause
Yeah.
after that was when I tried to live stream Katawa Shoujo, because that was me celebrating Singles Awareness Day. So that was 2 months after where we just had nothing. Heart Gold and Soul Silver episode 2 did show up, which was an hour, and Jacob insulted me personally by using a Dunsparce on his team. That was
How
when
does that personally insult you?
This is a personal attack, and I don't like it.
because I told him Dunsparce was stupid, and then he specifically said he was going to use one. Then Amazing Mirror started up, which I was doing, which I took way too long on. I apologize
Yes,
for taking so long.
Finally, I'm in something.
Basically. I think with this one, actually, that was everyone except Yeah, everyone except Fawn had been in a race from that point onwards, and we're still waiting for her to show up in a race, but that's besides the point.
I think Fawn has said that she doesn't. No, she was an Undertale.
Oh, I know, yeah, never mind. I'm wrong.
But he means like another one after this point.
Right.
'Cause, like at this point we have like the set team. Nobody's left.
Right.
In like a very long time, so it's just like we're all concrete. We're stick together like glue. Okay. Why is everyone doing?
You have the wrong number.
Fawn kind of got turned away from races.
Right, because you guys did. Because what happened was you guys did enter the
really
gungeon.
salty.
It got super salty. She did say she wants redemption though. She does want to do it again, but it's just we haven't like rolled enter the gungeon on the roulette yet, so we haven't done that again.
Yeah.
And she did also do just watching MGM play Hotline Miami for a while, which was something. Jacob plays Far Cry 4, episode 1 complete. I forgot about that. That was when you guys also
Streets of Rage 2 started after that.
yeah, and did not last long either. That was a very short race as well.
Yeah, it's almost like I have to beat him up.
I never would have guessed.
I don't know how long beat-em-ups usually are. I don't play very many.
Well, beat 'em ups are generally very short.
Beat 'em ups are like most of the time not really that long.
They're like an hour tops.
Especially when we were playing old ones. They were like you can beat that in like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not like unless it's Battletoads, but that's different.
Yeah, if it's Battletoads, you're there for the afternoon.
Yeah, and then after Streets of Rage, Score Attack came back a bit more than last time. I bred in with Rekka because I'm a madman. Triforce did Dragon Ball and suffered, I think, input lag and stuff. You did Puyo Puyo, Arrow did Bloodstained. Jacob did No One Has to Die. I don't remember what this was exactly.
I think this was a thing for. Let me check. I
think this was just like a one-off thing that he wanted to do and try and like give more eyes on the game.
It was probably that. I just don't remember specifically what this was.
Yeah, it's like the description is just Jacob plays a great little game with absolutely fire music. It's perfect.
Oh wait, never mind. I was thinking this might have been something to do with Zero Escape or one of his murder mystery novels.
No, this is a different thing. But after the Score Attack, we had the direct reaction to Smash Ultimate being unveiled, where we collectively lost our consciousness again.
Everyone is here.
I was on vacation in California, so I had to wake up like at 7 to watch this.
I'm sorry, but
in
it
a
was
hotel
still
room with my family in the same room.
Well, like one of my
It was
favorite
good,
bits
though.
about that still is like Crom shows up. It's like, oh my god!
Finally! Oh hey, this was also the point where we actually did record something off of Switch. Me and Yuri did the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate demo, where we were just messing around
We
with
were actually
that.
planning on making that a full series.
Which we
That
need you
didn't
to
happen.
It could theoretically still happen, but you need to get a Switch
It
again.
will still happen. By my dying breath, it will happen at one point.
And we're still planning Federation Force and Triforce Heroes. But you do have a 2DS for that.
We could also like do other Monster Hunter stuff.
True.
I'm pretty sure the servers for 3 Ultimate are still going, so we can go back to that.
I don't have 3 Ultimate with me, but I could get it next time I go home or something.
We can just fool about and
I have it too.
We do also have 4 Ultimate, which you could play.
Yeah, 4 also.
Yeah. After that,
you got more people that can record with that too.
more
I
weekly.
want to get back into Monster Hunter at some point.
It's a fun.
It's not for everyone, but it is a lot of fun. After that demo that we tried, Shadow and Jacob started messing around in some games, Duck Game and Melty Blood.
They played.
The
They played
duels.
in Blake's bathroom.
Huh?
We should probably explain this one. There's a running
so
joke.
there's a running gag in the fighting game community that Melty Blood players just play the game in like the weirdest obscure locations.
Melty Blood players are so poor, they have a setup in the bathroom. They
For
couldn't
some
afford the
reason,
hotel
It's
room.
just always bathrooms, like people using laptops on like countertops with like somebody sitting on the toilet with a fight stick or
And like
something
as
like that.
and like as an escalation of this to a different style, Under Night and Birth at Evo this year had a guy show up with a Guitar Hero controller to play it. I'm not joking. They pulled him up on stream. I don't remember the results of the match, but it was great.
I remember that dude.
I need to
That's
look
the dude
that
I'm
up.
talking about.
That dude is my goddamn
Guitar
hero.
Hero.
Under Night and Birth with a guitar.
Yep. Oh god.
I remember hearing about that, and I went,
It's like-
"Yeah,
it's like
people have
going-
beaten
it's like
Dark Souls
going
with
to a-
DDR mats. It's not. It's
It's like
people are
going to a.
insane.
It's like going to a Smash Brothers tournament using the DK bongos.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, basically.
I feel
I
like
need to
somebody
do
has
one of
done
those.
that, or at least has tried to.
I feel like someone has tried to. I don't know if it worked, but they probably tried it.
I need to do one of those weird controller challenges. Maybe I should play something with my drawing tablet.
Oh god.
Oh,
I
gosh.
remember that Wave did like 2 one-off videos of him playing
Yes.
Rhythm Heaven
Yes,
blindfolded.
he did Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii, blindfolded. That was actually really interesting. I don't think I thought that at the time, but looking back, that was really interesting because I'd actually played Rhythm Heaven now and beaten it, and I think that was actually a pretty cool idea he had.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea.
And
Because like the main thing about that is like, yeah, it's like there's a visual aspect, but you were mainly like memorizing the beat, like so.
especially since you don't need to see anything. If you just know the beat, you can play the entire game without looking at it. So it
Yeah,
works.
It's almost kind of like how some people can get into like Ocarina of Time and then play it blindfolded all the way up to like Hyrule Castle or something. It's like
Right.
because the sound design in a lot of Nintendo games are just that good.
Yeah, and like how I mentioned before, someone did a speed run of Castlevania Symphony of the Night blindfolded.
God dang,
Which I don't know how the hell you do that, but you can do that.
that's just memorization at that point.
There was
Muscle
also
memory has been burned
The issue
into
is though, if
yours.
you get caught off course, you're stuck.
he was
You know
stuck
what
for a
I'm
good half hour, but there was also Zalek one who did Punch Out Wii completely blindfolded, and the hardest part was menu navigation.
Yeah, and like that's also sort of like an audio bit because like all the wrestlers, all the fighters like give their cues.
Yeah.
So
But there's also a lot of like noise pollution in the game, so it's still really impressive. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've got far enough off topic.
yeah.
After this,
Monster Prom.
Monster. What happened with Monster Prom? I don't remember.
I'm trying to figure that out actually at this very moment. Because I realized, wait, did we get the other episodes up? No, we didn't. Where are those?
I don't know. But I do know is that after this was when we started getting more stuff out again, and we did Castlevania Bloodlines.
I think this was also during the point where I sort of withdrew from a lot of the races I had
Right,
signed up
you were
for
not in the
because
best situation.
Because I remember, I think I signed up for Bloodlines, and then you guys did it without me, and you have 4-Man Mayhem in the thumbnails for the 3-Man Havoc episodes.
Well, no, it was that,
Jacob was in it.
and Jacob exploded.
Jacob was in it, then exploded. So then
Okay.
what became the thing of like, well, it's gonna be it's good. It's still 4-Man Mayhem sort of, but also it's like we're just gonna say it's 3-Man.
As we've said, Jacob blows up a lot in these races. We don't know why,
Like,
he just
there's
does.
a lot of instances where I do that with the title names, where it starts off 4-Man Mayhem, and then if you look at the rest of the titles, where Jacob implodes, it's like
Because Jacob is better at solving puzzles and pressing A than he is at
Moving and pressing A.
savage.
Yeah. All right, this is also the last time that we did Score Attack Versus, because we played one of my favorite games, Monkey Ball 2, me and Yuri. And
Which was interesting due to the fact that I had not played the game since I was like a child.
and I played it way too much. And what happened was, I definitely finished the course faster, but he got a higher score than me. So in the comments section, I wrote Sub and Yuri both win. They realized friendship's more important.
Friendship is more important.
Oh god.
And like I didn't realize what it was at the time. It was because I used the warp.
Yeah,
And I
you used the warp,
warp.
which I think doubled or tripled your score more than me.
So it's like, oh, I didn't even anticipate that.
Yep.
All right.
And yeah, Bloodlines continued after that, and then you did Pokemon Puzzle Challenge with Triforce, which is a panel de pawn, right?
Yeah, or Tetris Attack in the U.S. It is a curb stomp.
It is completely one-sided in favor of Yuri. Shout-outs
Where I
to
go, man, I play Tetris Attack way too much.
shout-outs to Triforce. I don't think he's won a race yet.
Triforce tends to get kind of left behind in a lot of these, doesn't he?
He tries, but he tries.
The other funny part about that was that, like the first Score Attack versus we did was me and him playing Pac-Man,
And it was also one-sided.
which like was the most unbelievable curb stomp because he lost all his lives, and at the time I had not lost one yet. Which was concerning because I go, I haven't played this game in 10 years.
Doom,
How am I good at this?
Doom, I have good news. You're no longer the designated butt monkey of the group. Now it's Triforce.
Why?
You've been promoted.
Why?
Because Triforce can't play games to beat us. You can win and stuff though.
Which we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. But yeah, Bloodlines
Which one?
and Puzzle Challenge did not take long, and I finally finished up and posting Amazing Mirror. One night of Flumpties happened, even though it was a day late. Oops.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny.
Oops.
You guys, Jacob and Shadow, did Shell Shock Live and Brawlhalla again. Thankfully, they did it when Kiara was asleep, so she couldn't get pulled in.
That was still from the same session as the other stuff. It's just
It just took a while.
There was a bit of a delay in
Ah.
uploading them.
And then would you look at that cave story?
Finally came out.
It took us
One
2
thing.
years to finish this race.
Wait,
The fun
really?
thing about Cave Story was that we had recorded like the first half of that back in like 2016.
I was a
I was
freshman in
16.
college when we did that, and we finished it at the tail end of my junior year, I want to say.
Yeah, so like we had ended up like, if I remember correctly, it was part 6, either part 6 or part 7, where we then like we're just like it cuts to like it's like, hey everybody, I bet you can hear the difference in audio quality.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the other half of the race being like, so here's what's happened in 2 years. We are no longer on Skype.
We're on Discord. A lot of shit has happened. A lot of
The
games came out.
Switch came out, is no longer called the NX.
Just a lot of. It was basically time gap. Time
Yeah.
gaps. The race.
A lot of things happened.
A lot
and
of things.
directly after Cave Story, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Don't look at it. It's so beautiful. It'll burn your eyes out. This was, I believe, actually, was this Arrow's first race? I don't remember. No. That was. Actually, it was. I think.
Arrow's first race was, I thought, Kirby, wasn't it?
Was it?
No.
That was ChaosKey, Han,
Sorry.
and Cyborg. That's what it was.
Okay. Then, yeah, this might actually be Arrow's first race.
Yeah, this was his first like proper race for the group. He did the LP, but he hadn't been in a race at the time. And I think Mario 3 was you, Arrow, and Triforce, who was
And
suffering
Cyborg.
from lag. And I
And
think
Cyborg.
Cyborg, yeah. Usually, if it's just like a fourth person and I can't remember who they are, it's probably Cyborg. I'm sorry, Cyborg, but you tend to be quiet.
So yeah, that was a very
It's okay, we
interesting
still love you.
There was also, I think, what was that? Was that Comeback of the Century? I think it was.
Comeback of the century!
Comeback of the Century.
Because it was really just the case of like, Arrow was like so ahead, and then he got to, I think it was like the Ice World, like World 6, and like started faltering behind. I started catching up,
And then you
and
made
then
the comeback.
it just became a case of like him progressing, me still on his tail, and then Cyborg and Triforce basically battling for third place.
Which seems to be a running trend in our races. We don't typically have like everyone's together in a pack. It's always two groups, one for first place, one for third place.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun. It came together all nicely, and I still like a lot of the dumb jokes that we made in that race.
And then we became a squid.
That one.
And then we became a squid. Swim, Ika-chan. Swim.
Ika-chan. This was another game that I wanted us to play because it was also made by Pixel.
And it was so short that we did just one episode of it, even though it was almost an hour of us playing the game.
Yeah. The main thing was the fact that like I was like, oh, this game's pretty short. You guys can get through it. But the thing is, like, yeah, you can get through it in like 20, 30 minutes. You have to remember what to do though.
Yeah.
And I had not played the game since I had played it back on. I had a 3DS over like 2 or 3 years ago. So I was very rusty on like some of the things that you had to do. And because of that, big chunk of it was just all of us futzing about, not really knowing what to do because everybody else had not even played the game before.
Yeah. It was one man who knew what he was doing, but was so rusty he couldn't remember specifically, and the rest of them were just like,
I'm a squid.
Essentially, I'm a squid now.
Indeed.
I'm a squid now. That was all. That was the game.
It was fun.
And then to
Too
make
bad,
things.
too bad you're not a kid.
No.
I would be down for a Splatoon race, but we've never put that on the document to race.
I do have the ability to play Splatoon 1 and record it.
I can do 2, but I can't do 1 right now.
I
I have to make a
thought
new
about the
account
idea.
on my Wii U to do.
Oh boy, Sean and Sean, the match.
It's the battle to see which Sean is better.
versus Sean.
Who can out Sean the other?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Sean versus Sean. Yuri's name is Sean.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting that.
It's because we don't like normally call me Sean due to the fact it's like there's two Seans here, so we got like you're Yuri. All right.
Yeah, like when I'm talking with Kyle from Triforce Versus, I'm sub, he's Kyle because he came up with Kyle first. He's also my clone, but that's beside the point. Anyway, after Aika-chan, we did FTL, which was the return of Inglorious and Doom's first win on the channel.
And also the one where a bunch of technical difficulties happened.
Well,
Yeah,
well
so
that's every
I
other
have-
race.
I have absolutely
You would not
clue
believe the
what
amount of
happened. But Doom's footage did this weird thing where it desynced from the audio so badly that the audio was perfectly fine, but the footage just at random points would just cut ahead, but then cut back.
Yeah, I don't know how or why.
And like at the time it would take to actually like try and like adjust everything and like do all that to finagle it back into its proper alignment, too much. So I just put a GIF in a spot.
Pretty much. And the same happened for Inglorious, I think, as well with his footage.
And then, he accidentally stopped recording when he checked the scenario for an event.
Oh, right, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think he like ended up hitting a hotkey that ended up stopping his recording on
Probably.
accident.
Hey, Dan, what you were saying about technical difficulties, you would not believe the amount of tech issues we had in the race I'm editing now.
Technical difficulties. It
Which
took so
one?
fucking long to get done.
What is it?
Yeah,
It
it'll
probably
be out
won't
soon.
be out, but so I won't say, but you can view it unlisted on the channel later if you want.
Yeah.
But
What are the technical difficulties?
Let's just say things did not start off well, and it took a while for
Let's
them to
just
be.
say they were technical difficulties.
Yes.
one of us had our system crash. One of us spent 15 minutes trying to get her controls reconfigured.
It was eventful.
It was not a fun time.
No.
One
it
of
was-
us had our footage basically a slideshow rather than actual gameplay footage.
Well, that's just an average day for him. Until he gets a new computer, it's going to be an average day. That's why we put off on that other thing for now.
Yeah.
The other
Which
thing
can
that's
now be
sort of
done
related
properly
to it.
because it's on the Switch.
Yes. But yeah, after FTL, we had
Was
a.
my glorious return.
Yep, you were back in a race with Ninja Gaiden, which you proceeded to win because, of course, you did. You've played this game too much.
Ninja.
Yes, I do.
Hi! And I think this was actually fairly close for once. It was actually a three-way race with Cyborg in the background, but still relatively far in the game. And
Yeah,
it wasn't only the final boss when things started getting like a problem, mostly because for some reason my game, for no discernible reason, lagged to hell and back in the final boss room, and I don't know why. It just did.
Yeah. That was super weird. Like, I've checked that footage over and over, and I could not find what went wrong there.
Because I've never had that happen before with Ninja Gaiden, and I've played that game before and beaten it, and it's never slowed down to this degree. So it's just weird. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden was painful, but we got through it regardless, dealing with birds, bees, and a lot of death. Then there
Well,
was just,
it was painful for 3 of you.
yeah, 3 of us.
I,
3 and a quarter.
I'm really weird. I don't actually think Ninja Gaiden is that unfair.
We never said it was unfair. We just said the hallway in 6-2 is unfair. But yeah, after
like,
we got through...
John plays that game so much that he just memorized everything.
Well, John also has a problem. We love you, John, but you have a problem.
Fair.
After Ninja Gaiden, we've been doing mostly shenanigans stuff to fix up time. More episodes of Hard Gold Soul Silver have been coming out. More GTA shenanigans because we finished uploading the rest of it from the last big session we did. We turned on a Minecraft server and just messed around with that for a while, which was fun. And then we promptly got scared shitless at the Phantom showing up towards the end.
Yeah.
And yeah, recently, like, to cap off the stuff that we've uploaded, episode 10 of Hard Gold's come out. We've been mostly consistent with Hard Gold and Soul Silver uploads. And you guys have been doing Monster of the Week. You guys talk about that. I don't know much about that.
Yeah, so that is me, Shadow, MGM, and then there's also Jacob, and then one other person, Shadow's Right, Fawn's there too. Shadow's sister is also in there.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's Shadow. Do you have anything to say on that?
Not much. I just haven't gotten around to editing a lot of it, so.
What exactly are you playing?
We are playing Monster of the Week. It's like a tabletop RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons.
It's essentially like D&D, but a lot sillier, is what I've heard.
Pretty much.
Because like
Are
periodically,
you just playing it on Tabletop Simulator?
no, they're like recording like I think they like recorded their Discord stuff for it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah,
a
we
Discord
have a-
group they have for it with a bunch of bots and such.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, just one bot.
Because I know for a fact that like MGM always posts like random non sequiturs from each session in chat. Like what was it? Jacob's ass almost got eaten or something.
What?
Yeah. Don't
Okay,
question
then.
it.
And like
There was
apparently you guys' cumulative luck stat is like a 3 or something.
There was something about Shadow in a chair, or something like that, and I was like so befuddled by the statements. I can't remember what it was, but there was something that he said about like that you did in like one session. It's like, I don't understand.
It was
I
a
will
very
say-
interesting race.
I will say something for me personally regarding Monster of the Week. It's been a little more challenging than I thought, mostly because if you've ever seen some of my solo unscripted stuff, you know I'm not good at improv, and even in a lot of the group stuff I'm in, I'm sort of the more quiet of the ones involved.
Yeah, I kind of noticed
So-
that from TCC D&D, which we've been doing, but we haven't uploaded it yet because we only streamed like the first session of it. We haven't had time to do a second session.
TCC what?
Chaotic Crusaders, just D&D.
Oh.
Like we
Yeah.
started that with Cyborg as host of it, but we haven't had time to do a second session because we just can't get everyone available at the right time. Which I heard was your guys' problem was that Jacob was spontaneous and didn't have a schedule, so you couldn't tell when to set it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really what we're running into right now.
yeah, I am trying to work on getting better at that. So hopefully that's not too much of an issue going forward, but the next couple of episodes, you can expect me to still be quiet.
All right. Yeah, I'm normally like down for D&D stuff, but I don't know. Like Monster of the Week, when I heard the premise, I was just like, I'll pass. You guys have fun. This sounds like it could either be really great or really terrible, and based on all the luck-based events that I've been hearing, it's really not been going super well, but still been a good time at least.
Oh, it's a good time. It's just really, it's nuts.
So I
Yeah.
And I think
Sorry.
with that, we have actually caught up to where we are in the uploads right now, because that is the last major thing we've done aside from just uploading more stuff for Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Na 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 na.
Also, sorry, I'm not talking. I'm going insane.
You're playing RuneScape right now, aren't you?
No, I'm actually going insane.
What are you doing?
What's happening?
I'm trying to figure out what happened to Monster Prom.
Oh,
Right.
But I can't even find evidence that I edited it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Like, I have all of my Magix projects from like I have stuff from 2015
Oh,
still
damn.
for projects.
Oh,
So there is no way that I would not have it unless I just didn't edit it, which is fairly possible. I don't know who I would have sent it to though.
do you remember editing it?
the 21st night.
That's the thing. I don't even know if I did edit it. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He did say he was pretty sure he was going insane.
I am. I'm legitimately going insane. I'm gonna have to message MGM because
Is this hallway actually moving?
he might MGM might have edited it.
Possibly? I feel like you've given him something to do, but I don't remember what it was.
Maybe.
Maybe it is. Let me ask him. I don't know if he's on, but
But yeah, on that note, as I said, we have caught up to everything, and I'm gonna get a little sappy here, so bear with me if I start to sound a bit emotional. this is a bit weird to me.
It's okay.
Yeah. As I said, 5 years ago, I made this channel because I wanted to just hang with people from the Chaos Theater at the time when it was still active, because I didn't know anyone on the server personally. I'd never talked with anyone in Skype or anything. And through this, I met, well, a lot of people honestly. I met Yuri, who I've talked a lot with you, to put it lightly, essentially.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of silly things. We've stayed up very late, questioning our life choices and being really easily entertained by a lot of things. We've gone through a lot, like you dying and then coming back.
Yeah.
Literally.
Didn't that happen twice?
No, that was Jacob that died the second time. But he's okay. You get no context as to what I mean for that, though, audience. I'm sorry. Yeah, just this group has been through a lot, and I think of the 7 members that are online, apparently, with only 7. I wish there were more of us online right now. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's 13 of us in total, and I'm very happy that we've been around for 5 years. There hasn't been any major decays or decline, people saying, I don't know if this is gonna work out, maybe we should just leave. It's clear that we've had sessions of just nothing happening. Everyone's busy with stuff, but there's never a point where everyone was just this isn't gonna work, I'm gonna go. It's just that's the rarity when that happens, and I'm really happy with that because I love doing this, even if it takes forever, even if we don't get the chance to work on stuff for a long time, even if it's just me yelling at someone to join me in a call on Twitch or something. I have a lot of fun doing this. I love just hanging out with you guys, playing games, generally being mildly an asshole, and just having a good time with it, even if I am slightly bitter at what happened with Mega Man X.
How bad did it go?
I'm not gonna tell you. You'll find out.
There's the thing you wanted to hear, Jim. That I tried to not spoil.
Oh.
Look, if you came to the 5-year anniversary stuff, we spoiled so much stuff already. I'm gonna spoil all the stuff anyway.
Well, I have one question since I joined in the middle. Did you guys ever talk about the Season 0 hardcore?
Oh, right. We did not talk about Season 0 at the start? Yeah, we did.
The one on Shadows.
Yeah, that was the first thing.
No. There's a second one that you guys did that's actually still unlisted on the channel.
I thought that was Season 1.
Yeah, that was Season 1.
Season 1, which never aired in America. Or anywhere.
Doom is talking about Season 0, the one on my channel.
Yeah, Season 0,
we did
which
talk
was...
about that one.
But we're not talking about Season 1.
We've had 3 attempts
Season
at
2.
doing hardcore.
Or Season 3.
Yeah. We should try that again.
Okay, then I did not.
Season 4 time, let's go.
I not know about all those.
Season 9 more seasons, Morty.
We did now with Season 2, but it's no, apparently I'm incorrect.
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the next season, whenever that is. Wink, 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 wink.
We've had at least 3 attempted seasons.
November 2019. We're doing it this year.
Don't you fucking set a time. We're never gonna get that done in time.
You can't throw a month and just expect people to go, yeah, right.
Then again, if Yuri can make a statement of if we get 1,000 subs, we'll do Mega Man and Base. I guess anything's possible.
Is that a bad thing, Mega Man and Base?
Yes.
Yes.
Mega Man Base is painful.
How bad is
I've
that?
never played it, but I've heard people say it's not very good.
It is the worst
do it.
classic Mega Man game, up there with Mega Man 1.
Okay,
An
so
8?
To the point where it is not a Mega Man game, it is a base game.
Sean, you want to know what the problem with Mega Man and Base is?
Yes.
It's not designed for Mega Man, it's more designed for Base, and it's just... And when you get to the sections that are designed for Mega Man, it's just... They're hard, they're tedious as Base.
It also got a sequel that was only released in Japan on the Wonder Swan.
What is that?
It's a thing. It's not important. It's just a thing. Don't ask me why they released a sequel on that thing. They just did.
I forgot the Wonder Swan was even a thing.
Exactly. As I've said, I've joked in the past that no, we're not doing Mega Man and Base if we get to 1,000 subs, but you know what? Sure, why not? If we get 1,000 subscribers, I'd be totally down to do Mega Man and Base.
I'll do it.
Shadow,
You know
no.
what? I'll
I'm
do
kind of
it.
forced to, considering it was my idea.
Well, I guess we got our group before.
BRB guys, I'm gonna make 1,000 bot accounts.
Oh god.
No, don't do that.
We gotta do this legit, man. We take forever, but we get to our goal eventually. Sounds like my life motto.
It's okay. We'll get there before we reach our 10-year anniversary.
We'll reach there before the heat death of the universe.
Oh god.
Just to go back to my insanity, I have come to the conclusion that I did not edit MonsterCon. There is no way that I've edited MonsterCon. I don't have a Magix file for it. I don't have the one episode that is done on my computer anywhere. So my conclusion is that I was definitely not the one to edit it. I don't know who was. So we need to figure that out.
I say the MGM or like Jacob.
Probably.
It's gotta be MGM. Maybe Jacob, but because I'm pretty sure MGM also has Magix or something like that.
I think he does. He just doesn't use it typically because he's not the editor.
Because he's mentioned that he's like able to edit. It's just he doesn't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's not just like.
I feel like
bring up a little like minor thing to like just give a general like so that's how things go on this goddamn weird channel.
Yeah.
So the Metroid Fusion race was actually was it the only or was it the first?
It was the first race that Triforce edited.
Yes.
He did Sonic 1 as well, I believe.
Okay, so he's
or Sonic 1 and Generations.
Yeah, done at least 2.
Yeah, so he's done 3, I want to say. And it's clear that like everyone has their different style for like editing these races. Some of us are better, some of us are worse. But keep going.
I mean, it's almost like video editing is dependent entirely on what you know and also what type of person you are.
And if you're willing to put in the effort.
Like you could tell also that just based on like the thumbnails and who makes which.
Hey, so my original description for this part was really bad, so here's post Kiara with what I actually meant. I meant to say that if you look at the projects I edited, I tend to be very detailed and stylized and give everything a really polished look. That's what I meant.
I think my favorite bit about it is that, like normally you would see like the weekly shenanigans stuff. You could tell when I have edited a weekly shenanigans because it always has the same type of font. You could tell when somebody else has edited due to the fact that the font's weird.
The fonts change based on who's editing what. Like Yuri's font is always like the
there
pixel
was
version.
I forget who even like edited these ones, but they were like Golf with Your Friends ones where the text was like orange to fit the theme and such.
I don't know
but
who
the
that
person
was.
did not like make the text big enough so that like all the names could be seen.
Yeah.
Well, I think those were mine. And the thing is, the thumbnail is a picture, is like a screenshot taken from the actual video version of that.
Like, that's also how I mainly do these.
And when I was doing it in the video itself, it looked fine. And then I, grabbed the picture, uploaded it, and then in the thumbnail version, it's kind of small.
Ah, okay.
So
that's kind of odd, though.
And then I didn't really want to bother to change it because then I'd have to re-render the entire thing and re-upload it.
And I think that these were edited by Triforce, but there were 3 parts of 100% orange juice where like the text was, again different. But the other thing I noticed when we were scrolling by all of this is that if you look at the thumbnails to part 7 and part 8, you could see the default Windows like player at the bottom.
Huh?
And it's actually obscuring Triforce's name a bit.
Hang on, I gotta find that. Let me see that.
Oh, I see it.
Which bit of OJ was it?
Orange Juice Part 7 and 8.
7 and 8. Let's...
Oh, you can! Oh my god!
I gotta see this graph.
Oh my god! Why is 6 fine, but then 7 and 8 aren't?
What?
They're the exact same images, except one has the player and one doesn't.
How did you? How? How do you even? Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh god, I fucking love this channel.
So, that's a fun thing.
And then the most like recent weekly shenanigans stuff, you can tell it's me because the thumbnails look very similar to the thumbnails that I make for my channel.
The thumbnails are almost exactly the same.
And I have cut out the intro because I didn't feel like editing the names and everything. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
You fucking lazy asshole. But
I am, but
at least
we
you're
had
honest.
we had a bunch of stuff to upload.
Yeah, and we still
Most
have
like-
stuff to upload, which is what I'm happy about. We have a lot of stuff coming. A lot of stuff you might not expect. A lot of stuff that you won't expect is coming. And
A lot of stuff.
Some of it's like
even the-
5 years old.
A lot of the stuff that even people in this call don't even know that's going to happen in about a week or so.
exactly.
That would be me.
Oh.
Mostly Doom. Doom does not know a lot of things because he disappears for long periods of time.
I've been inactive because I've been dying and then living and then dying.
Look, I know you've been in college, but I've been in college too, and I'm more alive than you.
That's not that hard.
I mean, to be fair, I breathe at least twice a day, so therefore I'm more alive than you.
You
I'm
breathe
just-
twice a day? I breathe once a day.
You guys.
You guys breathe?
I knew it was coming. I knew it. I fucking love this channel.
Man, Doom comes back and suddenly we have a psychic link.
I always knew that you two were connected in some way.
Just wasn't sure when or why. Exactly, I'm just gonna ask it now. Why?
Yeah. So I'm also like on the race doc right now, showing a few things. I'm probably gonna have to blur this stuff out later on, but this is some promising stuff. Like I'm gonna blur this stuff so they can't see what exactly this is, but we got stuff coming. We got a lot of stuff you won't expect. A lot of stuff that is in the middle of being done. Stuff that I have no idea what the fuck we're gonna do. Speaking of which, what are we gonna do with that one thing involving blood and a PSP? Should we just like put that to motion?
Sacrifice to get Sony
There's
to
a part
pay
of
attention
me.
to the Vita.
There's a part of me that wants to say maybe redo it, but at the same time, it's like I kind of don't want to.
It was 4 hours. It was a long race.
What happened to Laser Ninja?
Don't worry about that one. That one took a bit longer than you'd expect, and that one's still not done.
We'll tell you when you're older.
Okay, I'm older now.
Wait, aren't I older than Doom?
That's the joke.
How old are you?
It's
I'm 21.
I'm 22.
School! Checkmate, atheist.
I think I'm the oldest person here.
Well, in the call, yes. I think Soderbergh's the oldest
In the
overall,
call.
but yeah.
I
Actually, I think Han's the
older than
oldest.
all of us.
Han's the oldest, yeah.
Han's really
Fawn
old.
is not older than me.
Well, not Fawn.
How old are you?
Han is like in his
Oh,
30s.
Han.
okay.
But
Han.
Fawn's only a few months older than
Han.
Oh god. But yeah, we've got stuff. We've got upcoming stuff. We've got stuff that's in progress. We've got stuff that we don't even know if it's going to be ready or not. And we have things that are actually done that are being properly worked on that you'll be seeing soon. Hopefully. Maybe by the time this is up, maybe not. Who knows?
Stuff that we're also wondering, why are we so excited to start that, but not everything else?
I mean, yeah, like, I'm going to blur this whole thing to show this off, but as you can clearly see, we have a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas. Too many ideas, in fact. Please let us know if we should murder one of these ideas off the list. You can't see any of them, but just randomly guess if one's on there. And we might
Do
murder it.
the one you're hovering over right now.
We have 17 pages worth of ideas.
Well, I'm not murdering that one. I like that one.
Guys, my insanity has finally been solved.
Nice.
MGM was the editor.
Well, at least we solved that problem.
Na 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 na.
He is going to send it to me, and I will finish it.
Oh, thank God.
Because he has life. I also have life. But I have more free life, apparently.
Apparently. But yeah, I
But,
think
considering I have a lot of things to edit.
you've got a lot of things to get in.
Looking at you, Tricky Towers, from like 2 years ago.
God dang. I forgot we recorded that.
Man, remember?
I didn't know we recorded that.
Man, remember when Tricky Towers was all the rage? Because it was all the rage for like a solid month, and then we never cared
Yeah.
about it again.
I remembered like that distinctly because there was just a day where Kyle just came home and went, "Does anyone have this game called Tricky Towers?" It's like, no. It's like, what's your Steam ID again?
Because I had money at the time. I was just like, guys, this game is cheap. Buy it.
I am actually going. I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to, on each of the episodes, put a disclaimer saying, "Hey, this was recorded like 2 years ago." We talk about a lot of old stuff.
Yeah.
So we're not really good with this.
And I think that's probably like the best note to end this video on. Because we've been going much longer than I actually thought we were going. We're over almost 2 hours for talking about this. I'm
Oh
impressed.
gosh.
I was really
I'm
bad.
also realizing how warm I am because I don't have AC right now.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I hope we continue to have a good time doing crazy stuff like this. We do have more crazy stuff planned in the future that you guys will not expect. I might tease something at the end of this. I don't even remember if I'm going to do that because given what happened, it's probably on hold for a while. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming out and just watching us, supporting us if you could. And I think we will see you all again shortly sometime in the future. Till next time, see you guys then.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
9 more seasons.
No, it's gonna be 6 seasons in a movie.
Good morning, Krusty Krab.